What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to Late Hoops. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at two players drafted in the same class and ask the question, who will win a ring first? Before we get into this video, I have to say thank you guys so much for 400 subscribers. The support has been insane recently, and I truthfully cannot thank you guys enough. You're really making this an amazing, positive hoops community, and I want all you guys to just be able to spread your basketball opinion and knowledge. Obviously, this question, it's entirely unpredictable, which means we can all have different opinions, but right now I'd like you to go to the comments right now and tell me who will win a championship first, Luka Doncic or Trae Young, and why. We'll be breaking today's topic into three parts: their team/situation, their players' play style, and their coaches. After discussing these parts, we'll make a decision on who will win a ring first. For starters, let's discuss each player's situation. Luka and the Mavs currently sit as the 6th seed in the West with a record of 7-5. They show spurts of life like they showed in the last year's playoff series, but most nights it seems like if Luka isn't going, then the team isn't. The addition of Christian Wood has been really great for them. He's averaging 16 and 8 off the bench, shooting 56% from the field and 46% from the three, although he's missed the last 4 games due to injuries. This team on paper doesn't look like a championship contender, especially not compared to the Hawks, but then again, what qualifies as a championship contender if you have a superstar on your team? Trae Young and the Hawks, on the other hand, are definitely a more solidly built roster, especially with the acquisition of DeJounte Murray this offseason. They currently sit as the 4th seed out east with a record of 8-5, and aside from blowing a few double-digit leads, they've looked pretty promising to start this year. Their depth has really been shining to start this year, but I have to give the most credit to Clint Capella. As the last 2 years had gone by, I'd seen him kind of falling out of the lob threat and crazy rebounder he used to be in Houston, but to start this season, he's averaging 12 rebounds, including back-to-back nights where he had 19 rebounds against the Jazz in a win, and then 20 rebounds against Joel Embiid and the 76ers in a win. It's really great to see both John Collins and Clint Capella they're just ready to get after it this year. I know Collins is having some efficiency woes right now, but both of them look very nimble and ready to just be a part of the pick and roll with Trae Young. And that's perfect for Trae Young's playstyle, which we'll start discussing now. Trae Young's playstyle almost elevates with the way that this Hawks team is built. I know it's also kind of the other way around, like the people around him are getting better because of the way he plays, but just because he has so many crazy 3-and-D guys and so many lob threats, he's able to just work in all facets of his bag. It's not often you see a short point guard in the front of a championship winner, especially being the #1 guy on that championship team. Trae was asked about the short winner stigma in an interview with Complex, and he said, "Goofies only think that way. Steph was the best player on a championship team, and they just won it this year. Small guys have shown that. Isaiah Thomas, Chauncey Billups, these guys have won championships." Those wouldn't be my words, but he's not wrong. He may be undersized, but he brings a lot to the table, and right now his shooting slump is a perfect example of that. Even while he shoots an awful 37% from the field and 30% from 3, he's able to average 27.5 points a game and 9 assists while generating plus offense for his team. As he's growing in the league, you see him start to move more off the ball and just adapt into becoming more of a vocal leader. On defense, he still hasn't displayed much hope, but that's okay. It took Steph, who he's often compared to, 10 plus years to develop a competent on-ball defensive skill set against people his own size. Trae has taken on the villain role the last 2 years, but I don't think he cares about that at the end of the day. I think all him and the Hawks fans just want to do is work hard and win a championship. As for Luka Doncic's playstyle, it's very interesting to me. There's a saying, it's an old saying, that someone's a jack of all trades and a master of none, but when it comes to Luka Doncic, he seems to be a jack of all trades, master of all trades as far as the offensive side of the ball goes. He's averaging 33.5 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists on 49% from the field and 29% from the three. He has great stats and he's shooting a great number from the field, but not the best from downtown. However, this is something that has been somewhat consistent throughout his entire career. I mean, I'm pretty sure Luka only shoots 32% from downtown on his whole career, which is only 3% up from the 29 he's starting the season with. Luka, he always looks so kept on offense, and generally his bag allows him to take high efficiency looks, but from 3, he just always lets that thing fly no matter what. This obviously results in crazy stat lines and amazing triple doubles and amazing step back buzzer beaters and all of the above, However, it does make me question his potential as a winner. The entire offense is ran through him, and he plays little to no defense. I can't remember the last time I saw the best player on a championship team not be able to hold his end on both sides of the floor. Literally, I'll put up on the screen right now. The last 25 championships, I couldn't name one person other than Steph Curry and Dirk Nowitzki, who ironically kind of resemble both the players we're talking about today. I don't think any of those players won a championship that wasn't great on both sides of the ball. Although winning isn't all on the players and their play styles, it's heavily influenced by coaching. As for Trae's efficiency and comparing it to Luka's, I don't expect these terrible shooting numbers to continue, but as far as the Hawks go, I do expect this team to get better. Head coach Nate McMillan has done a tremendous job turning the atmosphere around in Atlanta. I'm sure you guys remember last year they were bobbling and drowning under 500 last year before firing former head coach Lloyd Pierce. Lloyd's record with that team was a terrible 63-120, while Nate has only had the job for a year and a half, boasting a record of 78-54, already 15 more wins than him. Nate always has positive things to say about his guys in the post-game interviews, and he does nothing but respect the hard work that they put in. He is yet to win a championship as a head coach, but I do think it's possible with this Hawks team. But how about Jason Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks, though? Can they win a championship under Jason Kidd? That is a hard question for me to answer, because I really did not like the start of his NBA coaching career, and it may be the situations weren't right, but he was just always on a low light in my eyes. I didn't like the type of philosophies that he had brought into Milwaukee with the weird defense and the deep two-pointers. He's even tried bringing that a little bit into the Mavs when he first started coaching with them, so I was kind of confused with that. But since then, he's grown into a much more poised and versatile head coach that works tremendously well under pressure, and he works tremendously well in these one-on-one individual coaching situations. He's also a great team coach on the floor, and I like how even if it's going to result in some people getting heated, he just tells it like it is. He's always trying to do what's best for the team in order to win. So looking at that, as we've discussed the play styles, the teams, the coaches, and all the above, I have to make my verdict now, and my verdict is going to be Trae Young will be the first to win a championship. They've both reached as far as their respective conference finals, but going forward, I think it's going to be Trae Young and the Hawks that will be crowned champions. And I don't know if either of these players will be moved or traded. It would seem to me like they could live out the careers of like Steph Curry and Dirk Nowitzki, where we see them just stay with their respected franchises for as long as they'll let them. It wouldn't shock me that if in 15 years both retired with their teams. Luka and the Mavs could make another hard-fought run in the playoffs, but even Jason Kidd said it best when he said it has to be more than Luka putting up crazy stats. Every single player on that roster has to get involved. While the roster has improved, I just don't see them contending with how competitive the league is. How about you? Do you guys think that Trae Young or Luka Doncic will win a ring first? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys made it this far, you know I appreciate you as always. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.